Collision course. Florence weakens but still poses life-threatening conditions for the Carolinas.
The time to prepare is running out as more cities and counties declare a state of emergency ahead of high winds and extreme flooding. Right now at 6, continuing live team coverage from the coast to the Piedmont Triad.
First, we want to get right to Chief Meteorologist Lainey Pope for a look at the latest track.
Lainey, Florence is so big, this shot from the International Space Station you see here behind us could only be taken with a super wide angle lens. It really speaks to the enormity of this and also the unpredictability.
Oh, absolutely. It is a large storm. The tropical storm force winds now extend out 195 miles from the center. So that is about 400 miles across. So yes, it is a huge storm. A lot of water cooler talk today about, oh, the track has shifted, it's slower and all those things. Let me break it down for you. Yes, there is a slower arrival time. We're anticipating that it would slow and stall near the coast. The eye may not actually even make landfall. That is still a possibility, but that doesn't mean anything for the impact. That does not change. Yes, it has trended a little bit southward and inland in the out periods, but our main threat is still rainfall with this storm. You're looking at it here as it gets closer to the Carolina coast. In fact, some of the outlying clouds are sort of streaming in over Wilmington earlier today and at this hour. 120-mile-per-hour winds, so yeah, it's weakened slightly. It's a Category 3 storm. It may briefly strengthen over some warm water between now and tomorrow. Then it's going to start to slow down. So that slowing down will start to upwell some cooler water and will likely make it weaken some right before it does make landfall, or at least nears the Carolinas coast. And then, yeah, that left-hand turn bumping into that ridge, this has changed very little since last night. And then since earlier today, the out periods have not changed. This track moving it inland would mean major rain across much of North and South Carolina. Hurricane warning still up for the coast. Starts at the Outer Banks, goes all the way down to Georgetown, South Carolina. This is new. Tropical storm watches now extended inland. In fact, butting up against Randolph County. These could be moved farther inland if that wind field continues to expand. The southeast is preparing for life-threatening storm surge still, maybe more than a foot. Hurricane force winds in excess of 100 miles an hour. In the Sand Hills, winds could be 40 to 70 miles an hour with hurricane gusts. Flooding is also still expected and it could be catastrophic. 20 to 30 inches with isolated 40-inch totals along the Carolinas coast. With more on that, here's Michelle.
Well, we are taking a look at those rainfall totals inland that may develop not only as we go into the weekend with just scattered showers and storms and isolated severe threats, but mainly as we look ahead to late Saturday night into Sunday. Things start to fill in with the heavier rains as that system moves in from the south. And then these are the highest totals that we see going into late Monday, early Tuesday as the system pulls away. 7 inches potentially showing on one of our forecast models for Asheboro, up to 4 to 5 as we roll out into the mountains and the foothills. So everyone would have a chance to see some high totals. Another model, Lainey, still suggesting some lower rainfall possibilities. But then again, we are going to be dependent on this current track. And if this track does change or shift at all, as some of the forecast models still want to take it a little bit farther west, that will either reduce our rainfall or potentially, of course, impact it by bringing it up again. Lainey?
Yeah, I'd like to point out, Michelle, that we are still in the triad in that day 4 and 5 category of the track, which do change often, sometimes as much as 100 miles in either direction. So yeah, that will largely affect our rainfall totals. In the short term, breezes are picking up tomorrow, but we've got mainly dry skies for you. The scattered showers from the tropical system, the wind, they start to arrive on Friday, and the showers and the flood threat for us begins on Saturday. More details on what you can expect coming up.
Thank you, Lainey and Michelle. Hurricane Florence is barreling toward the South Carolina coast. More than 300,000 people have evacuated the state.
WXI 12's Travers Mackel joins us live from Myrtle Beach tonight. Travers, what are you seeing this evening?
Well, Kenny, I got to tell you, it's really a ghost town, and the big concern here is storm surge. Let me show you this right here. That's the Atlantic. It's calm now, and I know it's a cliche. It's really the calm before the storm, because when this surge comes up, it's going to come across the beach here in Myrtle Beach. And this, you can see, there is very little protection right here to defend hotels, motels, condos, and businesses. All businesses ordered shut down about 1 hour ago at 5 p.m. There is an evacuation order in place. And get this, emergency leaders say if people do stay behind, there is no guarantee that emergency responders will be able to come and get them if something happens during this storm. They're basically on their own. That is why they want people out of here. Also, gas stations almost out of gas, and there's very little water around here for any business that is still open at this time. Let's send it back to you all in North Carolina.
Travers, thank you. Be safe. FEMA says Hurricane Florence will deliver a, quote, Mike Tyson punch to the Carolinas. In the last hour, our governor, Roy Cooper, gave an update on how the state is preparing ahead of Florence. By 7 o'clock, more than 2,800 National Guard soldiers, he says, will be on active duty, with many more on standby awaiting orders. Officials stress you need to prepare, you need to be vigilant, because Florence will batter our state, not just for a period of hours, but for a period of days. Duke Energy says it's anticipating 1 to 3 million outages. 20,000 workers will be in place, trying to get the lights back on as quickly as possible.
If you still need to make a hurricane checklist, here are some things you'll want to add to it. You definitely want to stock up on food and bottled water, of course, but keep in mind that stores are packed and lines are long, so be patient. Put some flashlights and batteries in that checklist, as well as also you want to charge up your cell phones and tablets. Refill any prescriptions that you'll need over the next several days, and bring in and tie down anything in your yard that could blow away in the wind.
Well, many hotels across the state and shelters are running out of room at this hour. Millions of people fleeing from the coast. Mallory Lane tracking this issue for us tonight in Rocky Mount. Mallory, you're seeing some sad situations, aren't you?
We are, Kenny. You know, the phones at our hotel have been ringing off the hook today. The staff at the hotel says that they received about 100 calls just within a couple of hours this morning. And it's not just here in Rocky Mount. Really, it's all across the Carolinas, from Wilmington all the way to Raleigh. And our hotel tells us that they're not taking at this point any new reservations, as they're trying to accommodate those who are already in-house. So if there are any more cancellations, they will offer those to people who need rooms, who are already staying here, before they open it to any outside guests. Unfortunately, that does make it difficult for the hotel staff as the calls keep coming in.
It's really hard because, I mean, you can, we had a call on Tuesday from a Marine that's in Camp Lejeune, and he's like, do you have anything available? And we don't. And he's like, I have my family. Is there anything that you can do? So it's pretty hard turning people away.
Of course, as these hotels don't have the room, folks are going to have to start seeking emergency shelters, and there are several opening both in Tarboro and in Rocky Mount in this area for folks who need a place to stay. Reporting live in Rocky Mount, Mallory Lane, WXII 12 News.
Thank you, Mallory. The coastal Carolinas could be hit with hurricane-force winds for more than 24 consecutive hours. AJ Burnett is in Wrightsville Beach for us tonight with a closer look.
Safe to say that this beach that I'm standing on right now, Wrightsville Beach, will not look the same come this weekend, and there are so many reasons why that's going to be the case. You've been seeing this track with Florence. Florence is weakening, right? Well, it's also going to slow down, we think, right near the coastline. So despite the fact that the winds might have come down 10 miles per hour, which is really small potatoes compared to, you know, any major changes with this storm, it is going to sit just offshore, and that means that we are going to take an absolute raking here from the storm. Repeated winds over 100 miles per hour, as you mentioned, over hurricane force for nearly 24 hours. Very heavy rainfall, and something that you don't hear a whole lot about if you live inland, if you live in central areas, the storm surge. We also have that ocean out there, and you can see the tide is actually coming in right now. We're heading toward high tide, which occurs during the 10 o'clock hour tonight. That tide, the subsequent tides after that, tomorrow morning, then again tomorrow night, don't look to be that bad. And luckily, we're just past a kind of an astronomical tide cycle where we had a new moon come through, and that sent the tides a little bit higher. Those highest tides won't be quite as high. However, when the storm starts producing the strong winds that push that water right in up onto the beach, we could be talking about some areas underwater here by about 9 feet of water. And of course, you add to that the coastal beach erosion. And as I mentioned, I do not think that this beach is going to look the same after about Saturday or Sunday. Guys, to you.
Sand dunes do not stand a chance at all. Thank you so much, AJ. Well, the city of Winston-Salem putting in its hurricane action plan in motion. Janae Lewis live with more on a shelter that just opened its doors. Janae?
The doors here at the Joel Coliseum shelter just opened up a few moments ago. In fact, I saw the first few people walking in with some of their belongings. This is an evacuee shelter. It's been made available to those coming in from the coast. And I've just learned before the show that the shelters in Wake County are full, so they are diverting those people here. They are expecting upwards of 500 people to be here tonight alone. And volunteers with the American Red Cross are doing everything they can to quickly get ready. Right now, they're starting with 30 people, but will likely have to increase staff based on the need. They ask people to bring extra blankets and any special items that you may need for your kids. There will be cots set up in places for people to shower. There are more than 20 shelters currently open in the state, but Governor Cooper says the one here in Winston-Salem is the largest.
Capacity there will be at least 1,000, and we're grateful to Wake Forest University and the community there for helping.
Now, within the first 24 hours of this shelter opening, they're concerned that at least 750 people could be here. With the capacity being at 1,000. They would be in the situation where they would have to turn people away. As it pertains to pets, they are currently working to open an off-site facility right next door so that people are able to bring their pets. This shelter is going to remain open indefinitely. Reporting live in Winston-Salem tonight, I'm Janae Lewis, WXII 12 News.
Janae, thank you. We do have a full list of all shelters opening up tonight and in the days ahead on our website, WXI12.com. You can see a list of all the school closings as well, all the districts and universities that are also making big schedule changes as a result of this hurricane. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools, the second biggest school district in the Piedmont, will be closed tomorrow and Friday. Guilford County, one of the many school systems dismissing students early tomorrow. Davie, Rockingham, Randolph, Caswell, and Montgomery counties all closed on Friday.
You know, out there today, we started off with fog across the area. We'll have more of the same in the morning, even a passing shower out there today. Our rain chances actually go down tomorrow, but then they increase in response to Florence. I'll show you what you can expect coming up.